Section: Introduction. In this section, we introduce the concept of the bitter lesson, which suggests that two key factors, learning and search, are crucial for success. While recent advancements in large language models, LLMs, have confirmed the power of learning, the effectiveness of search in LLMs remains uncertain, even though it has proven beneficial in traditional machine learning. We define search as any method that utilizes computational resources during inference to enhance performance. Our focus is on improving search for code generation, a vital application of LLMs. We believe that the main challenge hindering the use of search for code generation is the lack of diversity in the outputs of models. This issue may stem from post-training objectives that often prioritize generating a single correct answer, particularly in chatbot training. We provide evidence that many open-source language models, which have undergone extensive post-training, exhibit this lack of diversity. Specifically, we find that while instruction-tuned models significantly outperform base models on a single sample, this advantage diminishes or even reverses when generating multiple samples. We illustrate this with a figure. The lack of diversity is especially detrimental for search algorithms. In extreme cases, such as greedy decoding, repeated sampling yields very similar programs, leading to minimal benefits from additional computational resources. Moreover, many public leaderboards only report performance based on a single sample, overlooking the importance of diversity in model comparisons. Although single-sample performance is crucial for applications like chatbots, it does not fully reflect a model's quality when more computational time is allowed. In this paper, we investigate various strategies to enhance the diversity of LLMs during inference. We propose that the most effective diversity to explore is within the conceptual or idea space of natural language. We validate this through several experiments. First, we demonstrate that models can produce correct final programs when provided with accurate solution sketches, which are derived from successful code. Second, we find that when models generate their own ideas before coding, their accuracy is highly dependent on the correctness of the sketch, indicating that the key factor for success is the quality of the initial idea. These findings lead us to a natural approach for improving LLM search in code generation, searching for the right idea to implement. Guided by this principle, we introduce PLANSEARCH. Unlike existing methods that focus on individual tokens or entire programs, PLANSEARCH explores potential plans for solving problems. A plan consists of high-level observations and sketches that aid in problem-solving. To create new plans, PLANSEARCH generates various observations about the problem and combines them into candidate plans, maximizing exploration of ideas before translating them into final code. We discover that searching over plans is more effective than standard repeated sampling or directly searching for ideas. When we apply PLANSEARCH to Claude 3.5 Sonnet, we achieve a state-of-the-art pass rate of 77.0% on live codebench, surpassing both the best score without search and the best of N sampling score. Additionally, we find that using PLANSEARCH with a smaller model outperforms larger models without search after just a few attempts. Evaluations on other coding benchmarks, Human Eval Plus and MBPP Plus, show similar improvements. Finally, we assess the diversity of output code across all search methods using an LLM as a judge approach and find a strong correlation between diversity scores and performance gains. This reinforces our hypothesis that effectively exploring plans in the idea space is crucial for LLM search in code generation. Section Summary. In this section, we discuss the limitations of current large language models, LLMs, in generating diverse outputs for code generation, which hampers the effectiveness of search methods at inference time. We propose a new approach, PLANSEARCH, that focuses on exploring high-level ideas and plans to enhance diversity and performance, demonstrating its superiority over traditional sampling methods in various coding benchmarks. Section: Search in Classical AI. In this section, we explore classical AI search methods, such as breadth-first search, depth-first search, and A** search, which are commonly used for tasks like pathfinding and optimization. We note that more advanced techniques, like Monte Carlo tree search, have shown impressive results in games, achieving superhuman levels in games like Go and poker. Recently, we have observed that the performance of AI systems in board games improves logarithmically with the computational resources used. We then shift our focus to applying search methods on top of large language models, LLMs, particularly for code generation. Historically, techniques like beam search have enhanced translation systems. More recent studies have investigated repeated sampling, where we generate multiple candidate code solutions from the model at various temperatures, hoping one will be correct. However, these studies mainly address a basic form of repeated sampling without exploring the broader idea space. When we combine this with a verifier or filtering algorithm, it is referred to as best-of-n sampling, which has shown promising results with intelligent filtering. We highlight that repeated sampling from a smaller model can sometimes outperform a single sample from a larger model when computational resources are equal. Unlike repeated sampling, our approach, PLANSEARCH, emphasizes searching through the latent idea space rather than just the output space. By exploring different natural language plans before generating code, we enhance the diversity of the final outputs, leading to better performance metrics. We also discuss the motivation behind our work, noting that coding is a domain where search can excel. Unlike other areas that require selecting the best solution from many, coding often only needs us to generate valid code, which can be tested against specific cases. Defining the search space is crucial for effective search. We believe that focusing on the correct solution sketch, described in natural language, is key. This approach allows us to leverage the training of LLMs, which have learned from human reasoning. We present two experiments that support our hypothesis using the live code benchmark with the GPT-4o mini model. To further investigate our hypothesis, we experiment with back translation, where we generate code solutions and then translate them back into idea space. We create a candidate solution sketch by asking the LLM to describe the code in natural language. We vary the detail of this description and find that providing a back-translated idea significantly improves accuracy, especially as the length of the description increases. This suggests that exploring idea space is a promising direction for achieving correct solutions. Section Summary. In this section, we explore the effectiveness of search algorithms in AI, particularly in code generation, highlighting the advantages of searching over latent idea space rather than just output space. We demonstrate that our method, PLANSEARCH, enhances diversity in generated code solutions, leading to improved performance, and we provide evidence that utilizing natural language sketches significantly aids in producing correct code implementations. Section: Conditioning on Idea Quality. In this section, we conduct a follow-up experiment where we prompt a language model to create its own sketches for solving live code bench problems instead of using pre-existing ones. We start by generating 5 ideas for each problem using a method called IDEASEARCH. For each idea, we then create 25 potential solutions and check how many of them are successful. We exclude any problems that the model solves perfectly or not at all, as these would not provide useful insights. This leaves us with 75 problems and 375 sketches. To test our idea that creating a correct sketch is crucial for solving problems, we compare the success rates of solutions based on a specific sketch versus those based on randomly chosen sketches. For any problem, we sample a sketch from a specific distribution and calculate the probability of solving that problem given that sketch. We analyze the success rate distribution for all problems and sketches against the overall success rate distribution. Although it's challenging to verify if a sketch is correct without external labels, we believe that if generating the right idea is essential, then focusing on a specific sketch should lead to more extreme success rates, either very high or very low. If the model has a correct sketch, it should produce correct solutions consistently, while a poor sketch should lead to incorrect solutions. Our findings support this idea, showing that when we group by sketches, the success rates indeed trend towards either extreme. This has significant implications for enhancing code generation, indicating that a lot of performance variation may stem from whether the model can generate a correct idea. Thus, we suggest that improving the sketch generation process and finding accurate sketches before creating solution code could be beneficial. Next, we outline the various search methods we explore in our work. For those interested in competitive programming and related concepts, we provide additional information in the appendix. For our baseline, we consider a basic prompting approach where we use few-shot prompting by giving the model several problem solution pairs before asking it to solve a new problem. A complete example of this prompt is available in the appendix. In code generation, a common method is repeated sampling, where we keep sampling from the model until it produces a valid output or we reach a maximum number of attempts. IDEASEARCH builds on the repeated sampling method by delaying the request for a solution code. This approach applies the chain of thought prompting technique to programming problems, and we find that IDEASEARCH significantly improves performance compared to standard prompting. In this method, the model first generates a natural language solution for the problem, and then another instance of the model uses that solution to solve the problem. The goal of IDEASEARCH is to emphasize the importance of having the right idea or sketch for solving the problem. We observe that requiring the search algorithm to articulate an idea enhances diversity in the solutions. While both repeated sampling and IDEASEARCH yield improvements, we notice that prompting multiple times often results in only minor changes in the output code, failing to address deeper issues in the ideas. To inspire future idea generation, we start with the problem statement and prompt the model for observations or hints. We label these observations as first-order observations. Typically, we gather about 3 to 6 observations, depending on the model's output. We then create all possible combinations of these observations, with each combination being a subset of the observations, to facilitate further idea generation. Section Summary. In this section, we investigate the impact of generating correct sketches on the problem-solving ability of an LLM by comparing solve rates conditioned on specific sketches versus random sketches, finding that correct sketches lead to polarized solve rates towards 0 or 1. Our results suggest that improving the sketch generation process could significantly enhance code generation performance. Section: Deriving new observations. In this section, we define the complete set of observations as a directed tree with a depth of 1, where the root is the original problem, P, and each first-order observation, C1_i, connects to P. We then apply the same method to each leaf node, C1_i, to create second-order observations, S2_i, which consist of new observations derived from both P and the observations in C1_i. We prompt the model to combine these observations to generate additional insights. This process can be repeated, but we limit it to a depth of 2 for computational reasons. It's important to note that the generated observations may not be accurate. They are intended to encourage the model to explore a wider range of ideas. Next, we need to turn these observations into actionable ideas before converting them into code. For each leaf node, we prompt the model with all observations and the original problem, P, to produce a natural language solution. To enhance diversity, we also generate alternative ideas by assuming the initial idea is incorrect and asking for feedback, effectively doubling our ideas. These natural language solutions are then transformed into pseudocode, which we further convert into actual Python code. We take care to minimize translation errors to ensure the model remains focused on the observations we've reasoned through. All prompts used in this process are detailed in the appendix. For our evaluation, we test our methods on 3 benchmarks: MBPP+, Human Eval+, and Live Code Bench. MBPP and Human Eval are well-known code benchmarks, but we enhance them with additional test cases to improve their robustness. Live Code Bench features competitive programming problems that require advanced reasoning. To avoid data contamination, we carefully select problems dated between May 2024 and September 2024, using May 2024 as our cutoff to ensure our results are not influenced by outdated information, particularly since our best model, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, has a knowledge cutoff of April 2024. We apply the same cutoff across all models for a fair comparison. In our experiments, we ensure that all output code adheres to the specified format, marking any incorrect solutions that do not comply. We run the extracted code through all tests, marking it as correct only if it passes all. We set the temperature to 0.9 and the top P to 0.95 for all models. The temperature was chosen based on a preliminary hyperparameter sweep, which we describe in the appendix. Both repeated sampling and IDEA-SEARCH generate a fixed number of codes, while PLANSEARCH produces a variable amount, typically between 300 and 400. To calculate pass at k, we use an unbiased estimator, assuming that if k exceeds n, the remaining generations did not pass. For filtering, we limit the code pool to those that have been filtered, which may reduce both n and c. This can be viewed as a conditional probability based on the code passing public tests. Finally, we present our summarized results for repeated sampling, IDEA-SEARCH, and PLANSEARCH in various figures and tables. We also include full pass at k curves for all methods, models, and datasets in the appendix, along with relative gains compared to repeated sampling at 1 averaged across all models. For a compute-normalized comparison between repeated sampling and PLANSEARCH, we refer to the relevant figure. Section Summary. In this section, we outline our method for generating new observations by constructing a directed tree from an initial problem, prompting a model to derive second-order observations, and then translating these into natural language solutions and Python code. We evaluate our approach using 3 benchmarks, ensuring robust testing and fair comparisons across models while detailing our experimental setup and results. Section: Analysis. In this section, we present our analysis of the results. Our findings indicate that both PLANSEARCH and IDEA-SEARCH significantly outperform basic sampling methods, with PLANSEARCH achieving the highest scores across all tested methods and models. We provide detailed pass at k results for each dataset, and we also include a comparison with chain of thought in the appendix. Notably, we observe that IDEA-SEARCH tends to perform slightly better, which we believe may be due to its approach of splitting the solution sketch into 2 model responses rather than combining both chain of thought and code solutions into one response. When we examine specific models, we notice that the trends in the pass at k curves vary across different models, with each curve displaying unique characteristics. We hypothesize that these variations are partly due to differences in idea diversity, as shown in our figures. Our approximate diversity score appears to explain much of the variance in the relative improvements seen from increasing inference time compute. This correlation is consistent across all methods and models within the same dataset, suggesting that the diversity score can serve as a useful predictor for relative pass at k improvements. For more details on the diversity score, we refer to a later section. An interesting observation is that PLANSEARCH can negatively impact pass at 1 for several models, particularly for Sonnet 3.5 on Live Codebench, which is our best performing combination. We believe this occurs because increasing idea diversity may reduce the likelihood of generating any specific idea, even though it raises the chances of having at least one correct idea in the pool. Consequently, while pass at the first of may be lower, pass at k is likely to exceed that of less diverse idea pools. We also present our main results normalized across attempts and completions, allowing each search method a set number of attempts to solve each problem. Another normalization approach is to equalize the compute used by each method. Since both PLANSEARCH and IDEA-SEARCH plan ideas before generating final solutions, they require more compute at inference time for each solution. In the appendix, we provide equivalent plots normalized by compute, which yield similar findings, indicating that PLANSEARCH outperforms all other methods when sufficient compute is allocated. Regarding diversity, we find that measuring diversity in idea space is a strong predictor of search performance, particularly when comparing a model's pass at 1 to its pass at 200. While entropy is a common measure of diversity, it falls short in the context of large language models. For instance, one model might produce slight variations of the same program, while another generates a range of programs with different ideas. Even if both models have the same entropy, the latter will perform better with search capabilities. In our approach, we measure diversity by focusing on idea space using a pair matching strategy across generated programs. We consider two sketches similar if they are close enough in this latent idea space. To assess the diversity of a generation pool, we ask a language model to evaluate the similarity of pairs of ideas. We construct pairs from the pool and determine if they implement the same idea, defining a function that outputs 1 if they are the same and 0 otherwise. Our overall diversity score for a problem reflects the likelihood that two randomly chosen codes represent the same idea. In the appendix, we delve deeper into this measure. For each method, we report the diversity score across all problems in the dataset. To manage computational feasibility with large pools, we sample a subset of 40 codes and evaluate all pairs within that subset. We first back-translate the code into natural language before comparing pairs using both the code and the back-translated idea, detailing our prompts in the appendix and utilizing OpenAI's GPT-4o Mini as our supporting language model. Section Summary. In this section, we demonstrate that both PLANSEARCH and IDEASEARCH significantly outperform basic sampling methods, with PLANSEARCH achieving the highest scores across various models. We also find that diversity in generated ideas is a strong predictor of search performance, and we propose a novel method to measure this diversity based on the similarity of ideas in a latent space, which helps explain the observed performance variations. Section: Limitations and Future Work. In this section, we discuss the limitations of our approach and outline future work. While PLANSEARCH enhances diversity during inference, we believe that true improvements in diversity should occur after training. This may involve rethinking the post-training process for large language models, LLMs, to focus on search rather than just finding a single correct answer. We may need to gather high-quality, diverse post-training data and develop new learning goals that go beyond simply maximizing expected rewards for responses. We are hopeful about creating better post-training objectives that enhance both quality and diversity, particularly by optimizing inference time computations. Currently, PLANSEARCH examines all leaf nodes in the search tree uniformly, which limits our ability to explore deeper than 2 levels in our experiments. We see potential in methods like Monte Carlo tree search, which could help with dynamic pruning and node expansion. We believe these techniques could enhance PLANSEARCH's effectiveness. Moreover, PLANSEARCH is a basic method that leverages the idea that searching through a conceptual space can boost diversity and improve performance on downstream tasks. We can explore even higher levels of abstraction to inject more diversity into the outputs. Both PLANSEARCH and IDEASEARCH sacrifice some pass-at-1 performance for better pass-at-k performance. However, in many scenarios outside of code generation, running an LLM for multiple attempts is often impractical. For instance, our results show that PLANSEARCH only starts to significantly outperform repeated sampling when k is 4 or more. Fortunately, various filtering algorithms can help convert high pass-at-k rates into better pass-at-1 rates, effectively shifting the pass-at-k curve leftward. For example, filtered PLANSEARCH shows a notable improvement in pass-at-1 compared to base repeated sampling, especially as k increases. Additionally, most base models with public test filtering surpass their instruct model counterparts in pass-at-1 across different datasets, even though base models are generally less effective, indicating a trade-off for higher diversity. We propose a new approach that develops search algorithms prioritizing pass-at-k performance while filtering the best solutions to enhance pass-at-1. Our focus in this paper is on code generation, and we have not explored the broader applicability of PLANSEARCH. It's important to note that the pass at K metric used in code generation may not translate well to other areas, where selecting the correct solution from generated candidates might be more critical than just generating the right answer. However, with effective filtering methods, we can bring medium pass at K rates down to pass at 1, reinforcing the idea of increasing diversity followed by strengthening filtering techniques. Lastly, we see a natural extension of our work in training the underlying model on successful plans and code solutions derived from PLANSEARCH. This could help distill pass at K performance into pass at 1 without relying on filtering during inference, reducing the chances of the model exploring unproductive paths in the search tree. We believe this training could significantly enhance the model, and we are eager to pursue this direction in future research. We would like to thank Jason Wei, Miles Turpin, Sale Wang, Horace He, Kenneth Lee, Celia Chen, Rahul Chalamala, Alan Wu, and Kevin Chung for their valuable feedback and discussions throughout this project.